Hi, I'm Debbie, and welcome to Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today we're reading for October 28th, 29th, and 30th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Now, if you're new to the channel, or if you just want to bypass and cross-watch, then down there under the description is a timestamp, because this is the introduction and it's on all the videos. So if you want to bypass, go straight to whatever the video is you want, the part of the video you want, go down there, okay? Okay. Now, you know that this is the weekend, and I want to thank everyone. I am starting to feel better. I'm starting to actually have more energy, which is wonderful. I will be getting on soon. I've been reading the comments, but I haven't been able to answer the comments just yet. I go to answer the comments and say, oh, I think I need a little nap. Sorry, so I'm still napping during the day. Whatever this is, it's not horrible. It just makes you want to sleep. So don't worry about any of this. Carve out some time should this happen where you can get some rest. Chicken noodle soup or chicken soup, wonderful, wonderful recovery tool. Anyway, this is the weekend, so I am going to be using my Radley Valentine deck, my Angel Tarot cards. For the main reading, I will use my John Holland Psychic Tarot and Oracle cards. I will use my Doreen Virtue and Grant Virtue, the Angels of Abundance, and of course I'll pull one from my Emily Anderson Crystal deck. Now, because this is the introduction, I am going to be using my Waite Rider Tarot deck, and I'll pull about 3 cards from there, and then I will pull one from my Colleen Barrett Reed, The Good Tarot. I have prayed, meditated, and infused all the decks with Reiki energy. Just remember, these are general readings. They may or may not resonate. Take what you like, leave the rest, okay? Okay. Now, just kind of going over what's the weird stuff going on in the world. You know, we are in Scorpio season. As of today, we are having that new moon. It was a partial solar eclipse, which actually gives a really big jump start to whatever's going to be happening right now. And then in 2 weeks later, we are going to have that full moon, and it's going to be a Taurus full moon, and it will be a total lunar eclipse. Now, normally that's not so bad, but we are in the, and I shouldn't say so bad, we are in the Taurus. Taurus is in the northern node and Scorpio is in the southern node. Scorpio has this, Scorpio in the southern node brings about a lot of karmic past, okay? While Taurus in that northern node is about building a future. But we are in the karmic past. We are dealing with some things that maybe we didn't deal with right, or maybe we were just not aware of. And remember too, and I know you have to look at this whole big thing, and it gets very, very overwhelming. You know, I talk about Saturn, illusion versus reality, and so many things that we haven't really looked at that's the reality of our world. Then we have something that just went on, or I talked about the full moon, and that's going to have some Uranus type of influences, really, really strong Uranus type, to the point people have said that, when I just do my research, a lot of this is what I get from my feelings and from my research per se, or how I interpret what I'm getting from research. But they're saying that there's going to be so much of this. It's going to be very structured, very strictured. It's just going to be very boxed in type of energy, especially around that full moon. So, so that in itself, very, very tight. And again, I'm always talking about that good old Saturn in Aquarius. Now, the other thing that we need to talk about is, okay, basically we have we have Jupiter that has been retrograding, and it is retrograding from Aries into Pisces. Now, I'd said it wasn't necessarily going slow, but it is starting to go slow, because around November, I'm not sure, November 20th or something, it starts to go direct again. So this goes back into that it's starting to go direct, retrograde stationary. And this is where things start to look at, I'm always thinking the stationary part is where the energies are really concentrating on whatever needs to happen now. Okay, so it is doing that. But then we also have on the 29th Mercury entering Scorpio. So again, news, news, electronics, hearing things, just fast acting, almost like not being able to hold on to your hat. Remember, it's like hold on to your hat, where, things are about to get shaky now, or things are about to move fast. That's what's going to be happening more with Mercury in Scorpio. And remember, Scorpio to me does not like secrets. Scorpio also has that transformation type of energy, such as Pluto has, the rising of the Phoenix. But another interesting part, though, is October 30th. Mars is going retrograde. So what's interesting about that is we're coming to the end of a retrograde season. Okay, I think that even Neptune goes direct, I think, in early December. So we're coming to this towards the end, where it should be tapering off the retrogrades, and now we have a new retrograde that is going into place. So those are little oddities. Another little oddity. So what does it mean? It just means that things are happening that we are not used to seeing happening. And again, it's like all of this planetary movement wants to really shake things up more and more and more. Now, the other interesting thing that's kind of lovely for us, though, is I did post, I think it was more on Facebook. I'm sorry, not feeling as well. I did not post it on our community chat, here. But I posted this thing with Venus. Venus goes through this cycle. It's a 1-year cycle, but then it does it 8 years in a row. And when it does this, and if you look at the computer simulation of it all, it turns into this beautiful flower pentagram, very loving, just very beautiful to behold. Now, for the last 90 plus years, this petal journey, and like I said, it does it every 8 years. Each petal starts and has been ending in Scorpio. This time around, it is doing it in Libra. So it will be doing this for a good another 90 to 100 years, where it starts in Libra season and then it ends in Libra season. And like I said, it does this for an 8-year cycle until it comes to the beginning again, and it creates something quite beautiful. It really, really is a beautiful thing. So let's see what we have here. Venus is in Scorpio. We are in Scorpio. The new moon is in Scorpio. We do have, like I said, Mercury is entering into Scorpio, and Mars in Gemini is going retrograde at 9:26 a.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. And, that's Mars. Now, I do associate Mars with Aries because Mars is Aries. Aries is Mars. Greek, Roman mythology, whatever you want to say. But Mars is also very strongly connected with that recycle, that death, birth type of energy of Scorpio. So I just feel like these 2 weeks, there's just a lot of interesting stuff, and just be prepared for an interesting ride. The other thing, though, is not to worry about any of it. Not to worry about any of it. These are things that happen, and we just continue. Whatever is going on in the world, in the universe, no matter how, it can feel very, very stressful, and I do get stressed too, but I still have to live my life, okay? And I still work to keep my vibrations high, because that's part of our job, is to keep our vibrations high. Lots of activity happening this coming weekend, coming and going. We have the 8 of rods, 8 of fire. Lots of activity happening. Again, not knowing if we're coming or going. Fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Passionate, very burning, very determined energy. 8, unlimited opportunities and possibilities. Things happening that we're not necessarily, like I said, things happening that we're not necessarily in the best control of. But it's not horrible energy. It's not out of control energy. They are, but again, we don't know if it's coming or going. Okay, let's see what else we might have here. Remember, rods, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, burning, passionate, determined. Next card up, the World. So this is reverse. So the reversed energy has, to me, it's a little stronger energy. Other people read reverse cards differently. I just say, hey, pay attention. So we have a 21, we have a 2. 2 is choices, decisions. We have a 1, new beginning. The World is basically things are completed, things are done, things are happening, but you've done what you needed to do. Now, could it just be that there's a lot of, could we just read it very simply that there's a lot of activity going on in the world? We don't know if we're coming or going. Definitely we can do that. But the World does give a very good vibration that says, again, not to worry, not to stress. These are things that have to happen. They have to happen in order for a lot of that, a lot of what I was just saying in the heavens to be completed. Okay, next card is, now we have that 7. We have that 7. 7 is a divine number to me. It is a divine number. It gives me a divine umbrella. It says that even if things are happening you don't like, it is happening for a reason, and there is a divine covering. Okay, now we have a Sword energy. Sword energy is our air energy. It is our Aquarius, our Gemini, and our Libra energy. So, basically, Aquarius and Gemini have a lot going on in the game right now. They're, Gemini, Mars, by going retro, is going to be covering a lot of old ground. And like I said, whenever things, and it's retro stationary right now. So it's kind of watching and seeing, what do I need to do? But as it goes retro and it starts to pick up a little more movement, it goes and really looks at what was left undone. So, what else needs to be cleaned up? Now, we do see this guy. This does have a kind of that 5 of Sword energy where he's kind of has that sneaky snake energy. So Swords is about making plans, thinking things through. It is about basically, like I said, hearing news too. But it's all about, hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. But so, like I said, there is that sneaky snake type of stuff. But the 7 of Swords, to me, is giving me a trickster energy right here. It's kind of like, look over there, don't look over here. So let me divert your attention. I'm kind of like, while you're thinking everything's all nice over here, I'm making way, and I'm taking the 5 swords over here. So there is a sneaky snake energy here, but there's also a trickster energy. So be aware of your environment. Be aware of, like I said, this has to do with making plans, but it's also hearing news. It's also strategy. So again, it's, does it concern the world? It could. The world, though, does give us that energy that says, not to worry so much. But lots happening. Look over here. Don't look over there. There's a trickster energy. There's a diversion energy, and it surrounds the world. So let's see what we've got going on here. Let's see. For this energy, for this going on. Higher power. Now remember, if I didn't say this, I am an intuitive channeler. I open myself to higher power, Holy Spirit, God, whoever that is that you say. I say God, Holy Spirit, and just say whatever you want, whatever this is your channel, not mine. So here we go. Let's see what we've got. Higher power. What else is there about this weekend? Interesting times. As always, interesting times. You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, how lovely is this? Okay, so again, reversed. We have drawn the Tower card. So this is a 16, this is a 1, new beginning, 10, transitional energy. 6 is the number of man. It's the energy you put into something. 1 plus 6, though, is a 7. So it is divinely covered. It is divinely guided. It is the Tower card. It is where everything feels like it's falling apart and falling down. But again, it's one of these times that it has to do this. Now, there is also a very big cleansing with this falling. There is this there's a sense of, whatever this is that's falling apart, it is getting rid of the things that we don't need anymore. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy energy. It doesn't mean that it's easy to get through. We have to maintain, we just have to keep our eyes, on this world card. We have to remember things will turn around. Things will, everything goes full circle energy. But the Tower card is not necessarily a pleasant card to go through. But in order for something to be, to be rebuilt, or I shouldn't say rebuilt, in order for something to be built, it needs solid ground. I do get this energy with this, though. I am picking up a lot of the gray energy here, but I do have that blue sparkles, not sparkles, but the blue kind of shining through also. But the gray energy is not necessarily, like I said, it's not necessarily a positive, but it's something that has to be done in order for things to be moving on. Okay? Interesting stuff. Can't really tell you, we will see what we will see. Please take a moment. I know being off that one time, it messes up the algorithm so much. So I would really appreciate it if you could like, share, subscribe, click on the bell, comment. If you've done all of that, undo it and do it again. I get a lot of people telling me that, my videos just don't pop up. I do put them in playlists, and I also get a lot of people telling me that there's missing videos. And I know I really don't post anything until I have all the videos ready to go. So if you could do that, I'd appreciate it. I'm a small channel, and that would just help a lot. Anyway, why don't we get started with our videos now? Hello, my Gemini. So are you ready for Mars to go retrograde? And now remember, it's kind of sitting there right now, and then it starts to slowly go back, and it's going to revisit some of the space you've already been in. So you might find some of the battles or some of the arguments or some of the, the fights that you've had, you might be revisiting them. And I'm kind of feeling like maybe if you lost a few, this might be your time to turn that around. So let's see what it is we have for our Geminis. What do we have for our Geminis? And again, this time with the eclipse, it's very intense. It's very intense. Some of the signs have been emotional. Some have felt the squeeze. Some of the signs it's been like, wow, this is what I've been waiting for. So let's see what we've got for my Geminis here. Again, I feel like as it goes retro, you're going to be revisiting some things that may not have turned out the way you wanted them to, and it's going to be like a time to, it's not quite a do-over, but it is kind of a fix-it. Let's see what we've got. 1, 2, and 3. 3 cards are reversed. Now, I will tell you, that same thing happened for Aquarius, so we will see, and that's the first time that, and all the signs, because you're the air sign, so you kind of pop to the back now. First time they've all been reversed. Let's see what we've got here. First card up, balance. I feel like balance restored. Okay, now balance is maybe you trying to balance emotions and also trying to come to a work-life balance. It might be all these things, but I really feel like when I saw balance restored, okay? Balance, I don't even feel it like balance restoring. I feel it more balance restored. So this is a 14, 1, 10, 1 new beginning, 10 transition, 4 stability, organization, leadership. 1 plus 4 is a 5, change. This is Archangel Zadkiel of the violet light, very purifying, very cleansing energy too. So this has temperance, this has moderation, this has, don't go rushing in where, don't be rushing in where angels fear to tread type of energy here. This is look before you leap energy also. But I do feel it is like balance being, well, balance restored. Balance restored. Something coming into balance, or something has come into balance. We're going to claim it as happening as it's, not as it that it's happening in that future, but it has now happened. Anyway, the need for balance and moderation, cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. Next card. 8 of air. So now we have that 8, which is actually unlimited opportunities and possibilities. Air energy is your energy, also Libra and also Aquarius, thought processes, thinking things through, making some plans. Now, this is feeling like, okay, so balance restored, wanting to break out. Balance restored, wanting to break out. But the thing is, you're not trapped. And that's what this is going to say. It's all an illusion. You can make your moves. You have more going for you than you might, than you think even. A lot of it is what's going on in your brain. It's kind of like circular thinking. It's like, well, if I do this, that's going to happen. So I'm not going to do this because that's going to happen. And it keeps you where you're at. It's paralysis by analysis, meaning you're thinking things so much you don't move. So that's something to really, and I think that might be where the balance is all about. So there could be some air energy going on, intellectual energy here that needs to be balanced. We're not going to say it's going to be, that has to be balanced right now. But again, that 8 of air, 8 of swords, you have more power than you think, my Geminis. You have more opportunities and decision-making choices than you think, okay? A lot of the things that keeps you from moving is you just think. You think too much, but you're not necessarily keeping your thoughts elevated. You're thinking about all those past resentments, all those past mistakes, and maybe that's, again, balance restored. That's what we have to work for, because a lot of this is thinking it's never going to happen, or you start getting stuck in the back. You start getting stuck in that past, and then it goes all with that. You live in the past, you're prone to depression. You live too much in the future, you're prone to anxiety. So again, it's balance restored in the here and now. Okay? And that's actually quite good, because that means you're taking control of yourself and you're taking control of your destiny, your thoughts. I'm not saying you're not connecting with higher power and working as a partnership, but you're taking more control of your life now. But it's an easy thing to slip back into. Easy thing. Again, an illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. Next card, ego. Ego. So we have a 15, 555, change, change, change. Now, again, too, remember, Mars is just kind of sitting there right now, and it's about to move back. So it's not necessarily a comfortable energy. And all the other stuff that I talk about in those introductions, this is not a comfortable time. We're in between. I know I want to say, and I want to give you hugs too and say it's okay. It's not comfortable right now. We're in that eclipse thing, and that eclipse thing heightens everything. So not only is that new moon about a new starting something, it's also finishing something. We're also in Scorpio. This is, the South Node. This is a lot of karmic. This is a lot of past energies. So there's a lot of past energies popping up for you too, okay? And the thing is, though, balance. Balance restored. That's your mantra for this weekend. Now, ego, again, 15, 10, 5, change, change, change. 1 plus 5 is a 6. 6 is the number of man. It's what you put into it. It's Archangel Jophiel. Jophiel actually, I kind of always feel a little weird with him on ego, because this is the double card. This is being afraid to move. This is, kind of like, just I don't want to be where I'm at, but I'm so afraid to go into something else. I'm afraid I'm going to make a mistake. I'm afraid that I'll be laughed at. I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid. And Jophiel has a lot of creation to the angelic. You know, has a lot of things to do to the arts. And, you know, this is one of those times that it's kind of like a be not afraid. You know, all of my little sayings, fear is the tool of the devil. But fear keeps you trapped, and we need, you know, and you need to moderation. I'm sorry, restore, restoration, moderation. You know, coming back into kind of that Zen type of moment here. Anyway, ego is about a false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things, negative or fear-based thoughts. So the energies aren't real positive for you right now, or I should really say the energies are playing a bit of a mind game on you right now, okay? And that's, you know, where that thinning of the veil, that's where the dark energies try to also, you know, grab on and, you know, try to manipulate, try to play games with it. But again, that's to the side. The card to the mantra is balance restored. And that's basically doing the, you know, not today, devil, get away from me. You're not coming in my house. I'm putting on the, you know, my covering. I'm doing all the things to protect myself. And I'm also letting go of all the negativity, because my thing is about this for you, my Geminis, is, you know, I had a mother and a mother-in-law, both Geminis, different as night and day. And, you know, they led interesting lives. They led interesting lives, but I will tell you, they led their lives with their own rules. So they made their own rules. Some of them worked well, and some of them, But I think that they pretty much, like I said, they lived by their own rules. Anyway, so don't be worried about it. If you're feeling this way at all, just know that it's, a lot of this is the energies around you, and that Mars just kind of sitting there right now. Move it, Mars, get moving. So let's see what else we might have for this weekend for my Geminis. Let's see. But you do have a lot of angelic energy there for you, watching over you. So be comfortable with that. Here we go. Here we are, reversed. We have that 6, number of man. Wonderful things are in store for you. Wonderful things are coming to you. It's more of a mind game. And you, my air signs, you know, Geminis, you think so much. So if you can maybe get back there and turn that switch off a little bit, you know, material and spiritual prosperity. Things are there for you. Things are happening. Don't let your brain, don't let your thoughts overwhelm you this weekend, okay? And if you start to feel that way, then go, hey, you know what? Deb said I'd feel this way. So you know what? Buzz off. Okay, let's go on here. Again, balance restored. Let's see what Angels of Abundance has to say. Let's see what we have. And also too, and I mean, in the world, there's so much weirdness in the world. Don't watch TV. Turn your appliances. No, turn your electronics off. You know, do some meditation. Connect with higher power. Okay? Meditate. Ground yourself. A lot of grounding energy needed this weekend. Okay? Gratitude list. Make a gratitude list. I love it. I love it. Counting your blessings and feeling gratitude for what you already have helps you to be centered in your heart instead of fixated on worries in your mind. Oh my gosh, this is so for you right now. What and who are you grateful for right now? Keep focusing upon gratitude and you'll discover the amazing generosity of this universe. And you know what? That's the thing. When I'm starting to feel down, I go, no, got to pull myself up. And believe me, it's not easy. It's not easy. And just start talking about what I am grateful for and that things are happening. Wonderful things are happening around me. Wonderful things start happening. But the energies try to, the energies try to pull down. And Geminis, you're kind of that, you're kind of that wild child of the zodiac. And, there's many energies that try to corral you. Not today. Not today. Anyway, let's see what we've got. What crystal or energy for my Geminis? Again, balance restored. Not going to be restored. Not have been restored. They are restored. Onyx. Seeing the future, and that might be going on too, my Geminis. My mother and mother-in-law were very, very intuitive, if you want to say psychic. They could see into the future. You knew when you looked at them and they started getting that. And you're like, oh, here it's coming. Some things they shared, many things they did not. So, responsibility, stamina, self-mastery. So, my Geminis, enjoy the weekend. Cloak of protection, ground yourself, hug a tree. All of these things, really, they do help. Okay, my Geminis, take a moment, like, share, subscribe, click on the bell for notifications. It really helps the channel. So, and if you have been doing that and you're not getting notifications, click again. As always, my Geminis, know that you are loved, stay shining, and be blessed. Bye-bye.